I'm going to walk you through how I made these table legs for this desk project I've been working on. I started off drawing a few designs, and after conferring with my wife, she picked this one right here. I'm going to start off making these top and bottom pieces that got a 135-degree angle overall. So I'm going to start cutting some pieces with a 67-degree angle in them. I've got some 5/8 round bar that I'm using for this, so I'm gonna get to cut. Now that I got all my pieces cut, I'm gonna take them over to the bench grinder and grind a bevel on each one of the welded ends. That'll give me some clean metal to weld to, and also a void for that weld puddle to fill in. When we get that done, we're gonna tack them together and then weld them solid. So now I need to grind these weld beads down where these pieces will lay flat on my welding table. I'm going to start with this 40 grit flat disc. If you've never used one of these things, they move a lot of metal. I'm going to get them just proud with this 40 grit, then I'm going to come back with a 220 grit to smooth them out. Now I'm going to cut these pieces so that they'll sit flush with the tabletop and the ground. I've got a few pieces of scrap metal here I'm using to make a mark parallel with that middle bar. It's important that this cut right here stays parallel to that middle piece. With my grinder and a cut-off wheel, I'm going to go ahead and cut these pieces off. So now I'm going to cut the pieces for the middle section, and it's just 4 straight pieces of metal. They're going to be 26 and 5/8 long. Real important here that they're all the same length. Once I get them cut, I'm going to take them over to the bench grinder and bevel them, then tack them together, and weld them solid. Now I need to grind these welds like I did the top pieces. I'm going to start with that 40 grit flat disc, then move to the 120. I'm going to use my die grinder with this carbide bit for these inside pieces. It does a really good job of getting that contour inside there. But this thing throws out these little sharp metal splinters is the only way I can describe what they are, and they stick to your shirt, your gloves, your hands, and you know it when you've got one on you. Now for the mounting plate and the feet. For the former, I've got this 2-inch C-channel that I'm going to cut 10 inches long. Then I'm going to put a few slotted holes in each piece. I'm going to start by drilling 2 holes side by side, and then using another die grinder to open that hole up and connect the 2 holes I drilled. Now I'm going to weld those mounting plates on and the feet. I thought I was going to get away easy just using some large washers for the feet, but you'll see shortly that was not the case. Even with all that grinding, there's a few little voids that need to be filled, so I'm using some lightweight body filler here and doing my best to get those in those small cracks and pinholes. Unfortunately, there's not a tool that beats some good old hand sanding. Now these things are about ready for paint. I'm going to take them down to the paint booth and wipe them down with some acetone. Um, Acetone is about the best thing to clean raw metal. It evaporates really fast and gets oil and grease off really good. I'm going to start with some etch primer. This particular etch primer is made by Sim. I forgot my respirator, but I'm holding my breath here. Now, when the primer dried, I took them home, and remember how I talked about the feet not working out? My wife just did not like those round feet, and I have to agree with her. That just didn't go well with the overall look. So we talked about a few options, but the best one I could come up with, or should I say the least work, was to kind of give these round feet some figure. So I'm just going to mark out the pattern I want on here, and then use my grinder and flat disc to take it down to these lines. Got them back in the booth and they're ready to paint. I'm using an Automotive urethane paint. It's a single stage, which means that the gloss or the clear coat is mixed in with the paint. I won't have to come back and spray a clear coat on top of this. Black's really tricky because it's going to show any imperfection. That's why I spent a lot of time not on camera sanding these. I start off spraying a tack coat and give it a few minutes to tack up. You'll see me come back and check the top of this piece I just sprayed in a minute. When it's tacky, I'll come back and put a heavier second coat on. So I've given them 24 hours to dry, and now they're done. I'm going to take them home and get them mounted on the table. And if you haven't already, check out the sister video to this of how I made the table. Thanks for watching.